Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon. It's anime. Yes.
Oh man, there's a voice missing from that.
Oh yeah, I know,
I
right?
think we were just powering up for the shit we're about to lay on ice. When he eventually
How is he
joins
this
us.
late? We were supposed to be here at 9:30. It is 9:47.
He did say he would be 10 minutes late, but that was 7 minutes ago.
We gave him the 10 minutes.
Bro,
Did we not give him the 10 minutes?
when ice says 10 minutes, it's around 30.
Wow.
So
Late as shit.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this is pathetic. Like, he's making the melanated part of this podcast look like shit. Is he not, Keenan?
He
Keenan be
always
on time.
has since day one.
Keenan, you pull up on time. I appreciate that.
Keenan is always on time.
Yeah.
Keenan's one of my favorite character aspects of you is that you're always on time because you're like, hey, I'll be here at this time. You show up and you're always early. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I remember you used to tell me, hey, make sure you get Tony Baker ass here on time. When we had to do stuff, you like get Tony here on time.
Yeah, you were the one responsible. You did a good job too. You did a good job.
But welcome to another episode of AnimeSHUN.
I think I hear a late bitch.
The
I think I heard a late
here.
bitch.
We might have a late little hoe coming in here.
There might be a late ass bitch showing up, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But what are we doing today anyway?
We are talking about a new anime that we are watching and we're geared up to watch called Demonslayer. Y'all, Demonslayer. This was highly recommended from a lot of people.
This is my pick, guys.
This is Brendan's pick.
My pick.
But a lot of people that I know have picked this. They kept saying, "Yo, have you watched Demonslayer yet?" This is the main. This and then the new one on Netflix that's like a Baki ripoff or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. I haven't. I've seen previews for it. I haven't watched that yet.
Those are the two actually that people have I've seen push the most to me personally.
Right.
Like, yo, watch these two. Demonslayer.
Hey,
Well,
guys.
swell.
We got us a late ass Ice. Hi, Ice. We're late too, huh? How you doing? You all right? It's good to see you. You all right? No.
You right? You good?
You good?
All
right. Well, we already in here. We just announced the show. We said it was my pick because it is my pick this time.
Demonslayer, and then I think, you already have the audience on your side with this pick.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, I've actually already seen all the episodes except for the currently newest one. Yeah. Today is, just for the record, it is August the 7th, 2019.
Yeah. So
I've seen all the episodes except for the newest one. I think this episode 17 or 18. Mm-hmm. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just watch the first 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would call that a season 1-ish kind of thing, and I think it's a good ending point. But yeah, I will say right off the bat, like rewatching the first 4 episodes, this is one of the shows that gets better the more times you see it. Because the second time through, I saw a bunch of shit. I didn't remember seeing it all. I was just like, oh, they dropped a lot of stuff in here. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is like I think I actually enjoyed the first 4 episodes more the second time I saw them than the first.
Yeah, I got the impression just from some things they've set up that like you get more from a second watch because they kind of leave some things open that you're like, well, what the hell is going on? That I'm like, well, they're probably going to explain this later, or it'll be a big plot hole for later on, I guess.
Yeah,
I think. And something, Rob, you had mentioned to me, like when we were briefly talking about it, is that the pacing of the show is kind of breakneck. In the sense of like,
it is very fast.
It goes really fast. Like the progression of what's happening. Like there has not been a moment of filler in this show, like in any way, shape, or form.
Which is what I love so much.
Yeah, it's like who we dealing with, what's going on, what are the stakes? Like there is like 0 games played and setting that up. It's like, all right, let's get this training montage, like all that shit. It's just like no. This isn't a 5-episode training thing. This is like almost a full episode.
Thank you. My thing is with filler, it's not needed. Because especially when you're watching an actual show and you're watching it weekly when a new episode comes out, you get very upset when you're watching it like
nothing
this
happens.
is a fucking filler episode.
Nothing fucking happens. I hate it.
I wasted a week waiting for this episode, and this is what you give me, and now you have to go do 5 of those. That's bullshit. But this show, I mean, you want to get some history like you always do, Brendan?
Real talk. I know y'all gonna give me shit.
Oh,
I'm actually.
You got one fucking job, Brendan.
Not as prepared as I normally am for this moment, but it's okay. Damn. The internet is here for me right
save
now.
Him.
Okay.
Google Foo save
it's really
Wikipedia ass Brendan over here.
Yeah, it kind of hurts. But the manga came out in February of 2016, so this is a very, very, very new.
Yeah.
And the anime, there's actually a film that came out in March 29, 2019. And the show started on April 6th. So it seems like they had a good rollout plan going on there. because at the end of March, end of March, they put out a movie, and then they're like, all right, cool, here's a show. It begins.
Have you
And
watched the movie yet?
I haven't seen the movie.
I didn't know it had one.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that until literally this moment. It's like there's an anime film right here, March 29th.
How about that?
Yeah.
Brandon,
Was it like in theaters or was it just like a?
That's an excellent question. I have no idea. I mean, I would imagine that I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna look into that. I'll know for next week, guys. I'll know what's going on with this movie, but it just says anime film. So it looks like the run of this show, or the order, was 26 episodes, which haven't all been released yet. Like I said, I think right now we're on episode.
I wonder what that is, like the 26 episode. Like, is that because a lot of anime, Samurai Champloo, the Neon Genesis stuff.
Is that 26 episodes?
All of them,
Yeah.
all of them are like a 26, 27 Trigun. Like they always have that. Is that like
stuff.
a?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a Japanese manga, or excuse me, an anime.
I feel like
thing.
that's a season thing. I think back in the day, seasons were around 20-something episodes, around 20-something. I think the new 12 episode thing is like
and I
within
feel
the
like
past few years. That's a new thing because Netflix kind of changed the game with that.
I feel like there's some other animes we've watched that have been 12. You know, so it's like
12,
you either get 12 or you get 26.
26. Yeah.
It's like nothing in between.
Wait, wasn't Megalobox 13?
Yeah, something
12,
like that.
12 to 13. One Punch
pretty
Man was
close.
like 12 or 13.
And I think that's kind of why I was like, yo, 13 episodes is halfway in. So it felt like, for me, like as we get there, you'll see it kind of feels like, all right, this could be the end of a season. Like it wouldn't be the end of a season you'd want, but it could be the end of a season.
The way the pacing's set up, I feel like we would get through 26 episodes and we wouldn't be like, fuck, 26 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, the way the pacing is now anyway, let's just slow us down
It's so
somewhere
fast.
in there. Yeah.
It's so fast.
You got a lot happening.
Yeah.
So the guy who's the director, his name is Haru Sotazaki. He's best known for Tales of Symphonia, which I've actually heard of.
Oh, yeah. I think I played
the video
that
game.
Yeah.
It's an RPG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he directed
Right.
that. He did Tales of Zestiria, the
Which
X.
probably was a sequel.
Yeah, so there's 3 different Tales.
Sounds like it.
My deductive reasoning is.
I know, right? There's 3 different versions of the Tales of Zestiria. They're all called the X. One of them's called the X from 2017. The other one's the X from 2018, and the other one's the X, the Age of Chaos. And the covers honestly make everything look pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Age of Chaos just sounds dope.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a good name. It's a
Sounds
good
dope
place
as
to
hell.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also did the character design for the Fist of the North Star, which I've actually heard nothing but good things
Yeah,
about. I
I've
haven't
heard
seen
really
it.
good
Oh, you ever
things
seen
about
Fist of
that.
the North Star yet?
I haven't seen that. No,
Man.
I've heard really, really
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah.
And he was an artist on Coyote Ragtime Show, which I've never heard of.
So this
before.
is really his first go around then.
I mean, yeah, those other shows, I think they were just, I think those were just movies. But again, I don't know that much about them. But either way, we know for a fact one of those names we've heard of before, which doesn't seem to be the case with a lot of the directors that we're hearing for these other projects that we've been watching. It's just like, oh, who directed this? Like, oh, the guy who did nothing else we've ever heard of before.
That does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
What else is also interesting is that this is already on Toonami. This is a brand new anime, and it's like English release. Toonami.
What's on Toonami now? Like, what's their lineup now?
I think Mob Psycho's on there.
Man, these kids these days, man, they got this shit. Toonami's putting them on Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, we had Inuyasha.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it was like I had to scrape my Dragon Ball Z and my Yu Yu Hakusho in between Sailor Moon and
Inuyasha is
And
one of my
fucking
least
50
favorite
million
anime.
Gundams, like
so many Gundams.
So
So
many
many Gundams.
Cowboy
there's-
Bebop.
And then there's those other ones with like the big cats that were like 3D or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even know what that was called.
Zords?
Yeah, the Zords. Like I watched
You
that, but I
remember
can't.
that?
Oh fuck yeah!
I can't remember.
I was like
watched the-
Zoids or Zords.
Yeah.
or something like that.
Zoids, yeah.
I remember I watched the shit out of that, but I never really had a strong opinion about it because I was like, this is
It was
better.
just there.
It was just
Yeah,
there.
It was just
yeah.
one of those
Kinda.
shows that were there, like Nickelodeon, like some Nickelodeon shows, like fucking Cat Dog. Like it's just a show that's there.
I never was a
hated
fan of
Cat
Cat
Dog.
Dog,
Yeah, it was
but it
just
had a
there.
lot of love though.
I hated Cat Dog.
I
Yeah,
hated it too.
I feel nothing for Cat Dog.
That's what I'm
either
saying.
way.
It was just one of those shows. Like if it was on, it's like fuck.
That's how I felt about
Yeah.
Friends.
Even the
too,
theme
to be
song,
honest.
Cat Dog. It reminded me of some
I like the
Walk
theme song.
Hard.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Dewey Cox.
Yeah.
Like
There's some shit you don't want this shit doing.
So-
but what's it called with Toonami? How many episodes is it on Toonami already then?
I don't know. It didn't tell
Because
me that.
it's English.
It's
right?
in English, so it's probably behind. But it says the English release is on Toonami, so
Oh okay.
I'm assuming they're probably
That's cool.
knowing the way that it normally goes. They're probably like episode 4 or
Yeah.
5. But that's my complete out of my ass guess. But I also want to bring it back slightly just for a second and just say for a moment, and after this moment of silence, fuck Inuyasha. I hated that show. I hated it. I'm just saying, like, I've never seen a show with like so many elements of a great anime that was just whack.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many. Like I wanted his brother to be dope. I wanted him to be dope. I wanted the storyline to be dope, and all of his side characters. Like there's so many elements there.
Did you
in
finish
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha?
I watched too much of it to like I didn't go. I've never watched it chronologically, but I've never ever once enjoyed a single episode of Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Not one episode.
It's
I've
very-
always sat and watched. And I'm like, you're always waiting for something dope to happen. Like it's like,
And
oh
it's
shit,
not.
this is about to be dope. This is about to be dope, and then nothing dope ever happens.
Yeah, I got a
Sounds
buddy
like
that
gangster.
really hasn't watched anime, and the reason is because he dated this girl in high school who was super into Inuyasha, and it was like, go over to her house, watch Inuyasha, and he's like, this is what anime is. Like,
What?
I don't know.
That ruined anime for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see
Oh,
that. If this
wow.
if Inuyasha was my perception of anime, I
I'd
wouldn't
be like,
watch it
yeah,
either.
I'm done.
I
I
want
was
to
like,
know
nah, I'm
from the
good.
people, from the people out there that watch us, man, our squad. How do y'all feel about Inuyasha? Do y'all think it's one of the worst animes out there?
He
Do y'all
puts a
think?
W in there, doesn't he?
Huh?
Inuyasha? Is it
Inu-
Inuyasha?
That's how I say it, bro.
Okay, just wondering. I didn't know there was a W in the name.
Hey, all right.
Damn,
I say,
bro, you
I
supposed
say,
to be
I
repping
say,
for
I say sewage too, man. I can't say sewage, right? So
like sewage.
So
Yes.
wait.
You
How
a
do you say
blood?
how do you say the long knife that somebody holds? Don't say it. That's like something you fight with.
sword.
No, the big one.
No, he said it right.
Oh, I thought you meant machete.
I
Oh,
thought
no,
you were
no,
gonna
no.
Yeah, I thought you
No,
were
I was
talking
looking for a
about
word with the W because some people say sword.
sword.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online.
Yeah, I
Yes.
remember like
I
growing
s-
up, like my pastor in my church
sworn.
said sword.
No,
all the
sword.
time.
I don't know. I just can't like. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why I can't say sewage.
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 Sewage, bro.
I don't.
No.
It's one of those.
That's like some.
Don't we all got a word that like that?
Radio
Am I just
shit.
the only one?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Nah.
thank you, Rob.
Public,
No?
I got-
public education over here. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Come on, yeah.
Hey,
You
well-
got a Compton College shirt on. You supposed to represent.
He is
Hey,
wearing
man.
a Compton College.
You got to
shirt.
represent,
Shout out
man.
to DeMar Randy, man. It's his thing. But I mean, yeah. So y'all want to get cracking into it?
Yeah.
Rob, what
Let us
happens,
know.
man?
So the show starts out pretty much one of these flash forward things. We've seen this kind of thing before. So it starts
Love
out
it,
with the main character Tanjiro throws you right into the action to grab
Yeah.
you. He's running down this mountainside. He's got his sister on his back, and he's just like, what the fuck just happened? Kind of look on his face. His
Yeah.
sister's bleeding. He doesn't really know. He's just like begging her to survive just till they make it down the mountain so he
It's
can
like
get some help for
snowy
her.
and
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah,
and-
it's a blizzard out. It's bad.
For me, it's just like epically horrible. Just that the cold element to it just adds so
Would have
much.
died right there.
I'm from
Oh,
Michigan.
You can't do the snow.
I'm from Michigan. I was like, oh, and
Well,
it's
come on,
cold.
then you
All
got like
these things
cold
happen.
resistance or something like
Yeah,
that.
you
Like you're
gotta-
from the north, man.
No, you
I
lose
mean,
that shit.
yeah.
You lose that shit.
You
Like,
do.
Brennan's
It's true.
when you're bald. So if he's bald out there with nothing covering his head,
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
colder.
A lot of heat escapes to
But
the top of your
you're more
head.
aerodynamic, right? Though.
I mean, technically yes, but you get cold fast.
you get cold really fast.
Yeah,
But
it's
other
like
Yeah.
when
things-
you watch the NFL or something, you see all the guys like come off the field, they
They
take
have
their
their
helmets off, and it's
towels.
just
Steam's coming out.
steam
Yeah.
coming off the top of their head. It's
Yeah.
just like, there all goes all your body heat.
bro.
That's
Like,
the
all I'll
thing
say is
too. Like when I braid my hair, I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? I'd be feeling like the ventilation and
Between
shit.
the- yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, wait, what is
it's
this?
different, man.
Yeah.
But I say the only thing I'll say about the immunity to cold or the resistance to cold is that I definitely had it, just like you did.
Yeah.
When you lived in Syracuse, you have it, but then your body adapts to wherever you are. So
Oh,
now I
for
live in
sure.
a hot
Yeah,
climate. I
yeah.
feel like either my skin, I don't know what it actually is. Your skin gets thinner, your blood gets thinner, whatever it is. Like your body has to adapt to being in hot weather. So now when I go back cold, it's like it'd be like 40 degrees or something like that, and everybody's wearing shorts and t-shirts in Michigan.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah,
y'all are
you
crazy.
fuck-
Like, I'm
yeah.
bundled
Wow.
up.
Well, I
That's
just
the same
remember.
thing with.
Well, I
oh.
was just gonna say, like
Yeah.
when I first moved to LA, like our buddy Tony Valentino, he and I were living in the same house at the time. Like we had like this cheap little hoop that we would wheel out to the end of the driveway, and like it was like 50, 60 degrees out. We're like, oh my god, it's January. It's 50 degrees out. Let's go outside, play some basketball. We're out there like just playing in the street, and these two women come up the street in full blown like winter parkas.
Yeah.
We were just
Yep.
like, this is such a weird. Like we're out in shorts and t-shirts, just like playing around and just. But nowadays, like if it's 50 outside, like
That's
I'm
it.
staying in.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
plans
it.
change, like-
When it's 60 something outside, I'm like, yo, I gotta get a hoodie. I gotta
Yeah.
get something.
I don't
That's
play
the
with this
thing too
cold.
with me in St. Louis. Like when I moved there, and then I moved to Arizona. I was there, lived there, and then I moved to Arizona when I was 16. I was like, y'all tripping, y'all some bitches. And then like slowly but surely, that shit, my skin changed.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
St. Louis, and it was like 40.
LA,
I'm
LA,
like,
LA
oh, hell
changes
no.
you in a few months. You get out
Yeah.
here,
It
you get
does.
spoiled by the weather
Yeah.
and snow. He's in real snow. This
Yeah.
ain't
He
no,
is.
Yeah.
This ain't
No, this is on a mountaintop.
Yes.
Like, he's on a mountainside running
the
down,
thick of things.
carrying
In a
his sister.
blizzard.
In
Yeah.
a blizzard.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
yes.
Yes.
So
then we flash back, catch us up to where we were. He's on this like kind of rural farm type of place. I don't know if they mine charcoal or grow charcoal.
Yeah, they
what
don't-
the
they
fuck
don't
his
say where
family
he
does.
gets it, yeah.
But he's got
it's not necessary.
charcoal
to know that.
farmers.
I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah.
charcoal.
Such a weird.
Well, your
But
charcoal isn't like coal.
No,
Actually.
I thought you like didn't. Isn't
You
that
mine
something?
it.
You
gotta
mine
go
it,
down
right?
and mine
I would think
it.
so.
Because
I don't
it's
know.
it's like a natural thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
you
from
just
the
gotta ding.
It's from the earth.
something.
And you can do so many different things with coal. I mean, oil with charcoal.
Yeah. And it turns out like that. So that's basically what their family does. He's like, saying goodbye to his family. He's about to head down into town. All of his brothers and sisters are like, oh, take us with you. He's like, well, I can't take the cart, and you're gonna tie her out because it's a blizzard out, and you're not gonna be able to carry yourself.
Useless.
So I'm not carrying you. But his mom's just like, they just, ever since your dad died.
I'd like to do a quick correction. You do not mine charcoal. Charcoal is actually wood.
No, there you go.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I said. That's why I was like, it's not coal.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but
ice.
it's actually a type of
I
wood.
don't
Like
know
you have to.
ice.
God damn.
I don't know what
It's
I'm talking about.
it's a treatment of wood. No, because the thing is, I was pretty sure about that, but I was like, I don't want to, say something wrong.
So
I
they
looked it
have
up.
that's weird though. So then they have wood underground like that.
No, you don't mine. You mine coal. You don't mine charcoal. Charcoal is what you use in your grill.
Oh,
And
I thought
coal.
that's what we were talking about. Coal.
No.
Yeah.
Charcoal.
Charcoal.
Is what, he was
I'm
selling
sorry.
charcoal.
Oh,
So that's
I
why
thought
it
it
makes
was
sense
coal.
that his brother was chopping wood.
Oh yeah.
And things like that.
That
So
does
they were
make
making
sense.
charcoal
Yeah.
out of the wood. So
And his mom's telling him like, hey, you don't have to go out there. It's bad weather. And he's just like, no, the holidays are coming up. I want everybody to, have money so we can eat.
He's a
Yeah.
good
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
He's
Great
a
kid.
good dude.
Good
Good
kid.
dude.
And you
for
see
sure.
you see that more when he gets to town.
Yeah, so he gets to town and, he gets a little monologue on his way down where he talks about like the smell of blood like is what leads to chaos. Like wherever there's chaos, you get the smell of blood.
He has like a great sense of smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
I relate to him.
yeah. You have a great sense
I'm
of
no.
smell?
I
He's
do.
Wolverine.
It's like I do have a strong sense of smell, but like the way he uses it is awesome because it's like a superpower.
Right.
For me, it's just like an annoyance because it's just like it's like I smell things most of the time. I'd say 80% of the time having a strong sense of smell
Yeah.
doesn't help you with shit. It just
Yeah.
makes it so things become less pleasurable. So it's like oh, this person didn't take a shower today. It's like I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Smell
I know you didn't
ass.
take a shower. Like I can smell a bunch of things that I don't want to smell all the time. And it's like
That does sound annoying.
You can
Yeah.
smell like gas and stuff. Like if there's a leak.
that has happened before. I remember
Save
it was in class.
somebody's life.
I was at a party with you one time when you were just like, somebody's leaning on the stove. And it turns out the guy that we were talking to was like leaning up against the gas stove and it was just like starting to just come out. It was
Oh,
like, oh shit,
wow.
yeah, get off of that, dude.
Yeah, that shit's happened multiple
That shit could
times.
have blew up everything.
So I
Yeah.
may have saved many people's lives with that, but I'm just saying 80%. That's at 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But 80% of the time,
I'm surprised
it's not
Brendan
fun.
didn't take full credit for that and said, I did save everybody's life.
Yeah.
That's a Brendan type
That's
of thing
it,
to say.
I'm with that.
Character progression.
Yeah.
I'm on an art, guys. I'm on an art.
He's on the art. So this guy gets into town, and yeah, just like you said, Keenan, everybody's coming out just like, oh, Tanjiro, good to see you. Hey, my sliding door's fixed.
Love this kid.
Can you help me out with the chopping some wood? And some other dude comes out with this restaurant with his head all busted up, and they're just like, they said I broke this vase, help me out. And he's just like, yeah, he takes a sniff of the vase, and he's just like, I smell cat on this shit.
It was a cat.
It's like, well, we trust. Like, it's funny because that dude got his ass beat. He was like, I've been telling her I didn't do it. She's like, your word means nothing.
Yeah.
Andrew was like, I smell a cat. She's like, oh.
I trust
If
you.
I'm
All
that
right.
guy, I'm giving that place 1 star on Yelp.
Oh.
Like, fuck that.
I'm
Facts.
suing it.
Yeah.
I'm suing him.
Fuck
Yeah.
But
that.
that's back in the day. That's not how things work.
But you know what? I noticed something weird about this town. This guy coming down from the mountain, giving everybody charcoal, and maybe this is something that'll come up later. But if you notice in the background, they've got like electrical phone wires and shit all around the town.
Yeah,
I
Like,
didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
that was
Yeah.
weird. I saw that. I was like,
I was like, they gotta burn charcoal, but they got like phone
Like,
wires
where-
up here. That was a little weird.
Weird.
Yeah,
I didn't
anyway,
notice that. I
Maybe
didn't
it'll come
notice
back around.
Was it
I don't
phone
know.
wires for sure? Or was it like
It looked like electrical wires. It
or
looked
if,
like it.
or
Like,
it
you know,
could be like,
clothing lines?
yeah, it might.
it could have been, but it
Yeah.
was like
I think it might have been clothing lines because like when later on in a few episodes in, the guy talks about the period that we're in, and he said he was born into the
he
Edo.
does.
Yeah.
So we
we'll
know
take a look at it
that
later,
gives
but I
us the
remember
timestamp
watching it
on
just
when it
being
is,
like,
so-
what the hell
Yeah.
is that? Maybe it's clothing line, but it looked like electrical wires.
Okay.
But anyway, all that to say, he's heading back up the mountain after, doing all this work in town, and he's heading up. It's sun setting, and this dude's just like, hey, dude, like, this old man he knows is just like, hey, man, it's dangerous out there at night.
He calls him granddad.
Granddad.
Yeah, he calls him
Granddad
granddad, so he
something,
knows
yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, come on, stay with me. It's not safe out there. Like, you
Yep.
shouldn't be out there at night.
Smart move, to be honest.
It
He's
is.
like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'm gonna go up there. And,
And
then
then
he's
that-
like, no.
It's like, no,
Your
sit your
ass
ass
is
down,
stand-
eat this
Yeah.
food. You don't understand how dangerous it is at night.
Yeah.
Which for me at first, when I first watched this, I was like, this dude is like, this old guy either really over, like, it doesn't make sense that Tanjiro doesn't know of the danger since he lived on this
That
mountain
was
his whole
my
life.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck do you mean?
So what I came to understand, or what I think happens, because it happens right now, is like, Tanjiro's questioning this guy, because even Tanjiro says it in his head. Like, so he goes to this place, the guy's place, he's in his head thinking to himself and having these thoughts where he's just like, this guy, I'm a pretty much appease him because ain't shit really gonna happen.
His wife
Yeah.
died.
Yeah,
he's
his wife. He lost his
lonely.
entire family.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And this old guy is talking about demons or whatever. And Tanjiro's never seen a demon before. And so, but then he was like thinking like, but my grandma used to talk about demons too.
She did.
Huh. But either way, whatever. Let's go to sleep. I got to get these gifts back home.
And the kind of haunting thing about this whole thing is he's just like, so, like, if we're staying inside the house, can the demon not come in? He's like, oh, no, they'll come in.
Yeah.
Like, so then what the fuck? Like, man.
Yeah.
Seems like they would go straight to the house instead of just
Right.
walk
Yeah, they
around the
see
woods.
somebody-
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not some vampire shit where you got to, like, invite him in. Like, these guys are coming in whether you want them to or not.
And that's what I thought at first in that particular scene. And
Yeah.
then, of course, we get to that. But like I thought, like, he couldn't come inside the houses like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's thinking about this, and he's just like, I'm gonna bring my siblings back here sometime and like
and give them company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, what that means to me is just the way that I interpret it now, like watching it, is that this particular area in his lifetime, in Tanjiro's lifetime, his short lifetime, there haven't been any demons in that area.
Right.
So
Yeah,
why
yeah.
would he be scared of them? And maybe there haven't been any demons in that area for a whole generation.
Or they
Because-
might have been, or he just
Kept
he
missing
just
it.
missed it.
Well,
Yeah.
also what I thought was interesting too, and I'm sure this will come around, but when he had that flashback to him with his grandmother, he didn't have the scar on his forehead.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
still,
you're
I
right.
want to figure out where that came from.
I think
Yeah.
all that's gonna happen. I mean, I don't know. To be honest,
yeah.
I'm not even like being bullshit. I still
You
don't
don't
know.
They still haven't
Okay.
talked
No.
about it.
But
Or what happened to his dad, and maybe
that
that's
hasn't
tied.
come up either. Yeah.
All right.
His dad
Anime
ain't shit.
fathers.
Not around.
Not around or just pieces
Hey,
of
man.
shit.
But so Tanjiro, it seems to be playing the place of dad. Like when
He
you see
is,
how the
absolutely.
relationship he has with his siblings when he leaves the house that day, they were all broken up. Like each one of them wanted to spend time with him doing
They
different
loved
things.
this guy.
You're gonna
It's
bring me
old-
back gifts from town.
You're gonna
Yeah.
cut the
That
wood
kind
with
of
me. I thought you'd do that.
Right.
You know, like I put
Yeah.
this baby to sleep to help you. Like Nezuko, his sister, oldest sister, it seems like. She was like, I put this one to sleep because he'll be crazy if you don't. You know, and he's like, all right, cool. I love you guys. I'm leaving, sleeping over. And then
As he's coming up the mountain, as he was saying on his way down, he smells blood, and that usually doesn't mean it's a good situation.
Not a good
Exactly.
idea.
So he gets to the house and he sees his family been fucked up, like Luke Skywalker style. Like he comes out, they're all
Dog.
splayed out, like in front of the
Yo.
place.
Skywalker
It's
style.
bad.
they.
Was slaughtered, bro.
It
I'm
was.
sorry. Like,
Yeah.
tell me this isn't like honestly easily like worst nightmare territory.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
it's terrible.
yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
absolutely.
that guy got up in the house. He's just, and he can smell. He's just like, there's a strange smell here.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't somebody that I know.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's fucked up about it is this. I always think about stuff like this. If my gut is telling me something, it's either telling me something right or wrong.
Yeah.
So for him to be like, I want to go home, but like, I'll stay here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess he probably. It's like I always go through that instance. Like, what if I don't go and something does happen?
Yeah.
Whether it's with friends, family, or myself. If I leave, what if I stay? What if I'm supposed to stay because if I leave, I'm gonna get into a bad car accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
So
Some Final Destination shit.
yeah, for real. So I
Yeah.
felt so like when I saw this, I was like my posture changed. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like
it took me right to like think about if you, let's say this Tanjiro is probably the same anime age as everybody else, 15, 16, 17, somewhere.
Yeah,
there.
he's got to be
Yeah.
in that window.
somewhere in there, and he's becoming a man. But it's like he's super close and like the supporter, the provider for this family. Can you guys imagine at that age coming home and literally witnessing and seeing that, like your entire family just murdered?
Because
Yeah.
it's one
And you
thing
missed
to
it
come
by
home.
hours.
Yeah.
It's one thing to come home and then like there's yellow tape everywhere and the police already cleaned up everything.
Yeah,
But it's like
To
it's
see
another level
He's
to
the first
see it
one.
fresh and
Yeah.
fuck.
He
But yeah,
found
it
it.
looked like it was probably done not too long ago.
Yeah.
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 And that's the thing. He checks them all, and unfortunately, they're all dead except for his one sister. He says it still feels warm. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
his sister Nezuko, and
Yeah.
that's who he's bringing. He's got on his back
Yeah.
when we first saw him. And
one thing,
catch up to
one thing
that
I'd like to
moment.
point out, which we all do know from what we saw, is that I agree with you, Keaton. And like I could understand that feeling of him wanting to be there. But I would say this is that if he was there, from what we know of demons now, even in the first 4 episodes, and for who he was at that point, his ass would have been killed too.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
But would you rather? and
I'd
maybe
rather
you
be able to live on instead of my entire family being murdered. And
Okay.
be able to get past the teachings of my parents on, possibly save my sister. You know what I'm saying? Be able to
Is that-
salvage
is
something.
Is that Brennan's mindset now? Because maybe as a kid, like you like, how do I go on with life?
Right.
Because right now, I'm
Well, he
with
has a
you.
focus, though.
I'm with you. I'm like, I got to push through this shit.
yeah.
But as a 15, 16-year-old, I'll probably just be like, yo, I wish I would have died with my family. I
But
don't
you
know.
wouldn't be thinking that because you'd be doing exactly what Tanjiro did. You have one warm sister. He puts her on his back and runs down the mountain to save her.
It's
You're
like-
Well,
fo-
yeah,
It's
you're-
like-
at that moment, yeah.
That's
It's
what I'm
like some
saying. You're so
Goblin-
focused.
Goblin Slayer shit too. It's like he hid. Like he could have easily just like came out and be like that.
Ice, I would say this: don't ever compare this shit to Goblin Slayer. Okay?
No, I'm
It's
just saying-
kinda
saying
close.
it's
I'm
the
talking
same
about- I'm
thing.
talking
Ice,
I'm
before you got
I'm
here, I
talking
kind of said
about-
the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in dopeness.
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
say it was dope. I just said it's the situation with family. He watched
very
his sister
close.
get raped and everybody in his town get
No, I
killed.
see.
and then
So you're saying the
I get
specific
that.
guy,
Yeah,
the Goblin
yeah,
Slayer,
yeah,
not the
no,
show.
no,
No, I get it.
yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
I
No,
would
it's
say-
very similar. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
similar.
But I also wish
It's
the
very
Goblin
similar.
Slayer would have set up stuff earlier in a sense of
Well, this show is doing a lot of what we kind of thought might make Goblin Slayer to that other level where he's just like, somebody did this. He's still out there. I know his smell.
Yeah, they set up the antagonist.
You got to
really
imagine
well.
he's going to run into this dude some point later.
Yeah.
So, Brennan smiles and shrugs. So he's on
you
his
can't
way
do that.
down.
You can't spoil. But I mean,
I
don't.
of course he is.
I don't
Of course
care.
he is.
I don't. You know. I'm not tripping on spoilers for the rest of the guys here.
Right.
I mean,
All right, let's
You're
keep it
facing
going. Let's keep it going.
So he's on his way down the mountain, and he's just like, and as he's on his way down, like his sister starts to move, but she wakes up and she's got like sharp vampire teeth and like crazy cat eyes, and she throws them both off the side of the fucking mountain.
Yeah. Demon bitch.
The snow saves his life.
It does, and he's on the ground, and she's immediately like on top of him. She's about to rip his throat out, and he's only like keeping her back.
First
with,
of all,
like,
his
the hilt of
reflexes
his
are
axe.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like she's about to like literally bite his throat out. And he immediately pulls out his hatchet from his side and puts the handle in her mouth.
Yeah.
And is holding her off of him. And
But she's overpowering him.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she grows. Like she gets bigger and
Yeah, she was
stronger.
bigger.
Like,
Yeah, that was
visibly
that was
bigger
crazy.
and stronger.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Like
And he's pleading with her, like, you know, I know you. You know me. Like, you're my
Yeah.
sister. Like, come on, we can get through this. And he starts crying, and you know, but in this situation, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
What
what are you
do
gonna
you-
do?
What do you do? Like, if this is your sibling, do you think you're able to have that mentality, or like, all right, I'm killing this bitch?
I think because she did show signs of herself still in there because she started crying. But I think if there was a point that she's not showing anything, it's like, all right. I tell my lady that all the time. Like, if you turn into a zombie, I'm blowing your fucking head off.
From what we
that's
learned,
the way it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and I would expect you to do the same to me. If
Yeah.
I'm turning
Right.
and there's no cure, and you just know I'm no point of return, blow my
You
shit
wouldn't do
clean
what the
off.
dude did in Walking Dead when he kept his daughter for the longest.
No,
No.
Kept her
no,
leashed up.
I'd kill him.
no.
I'd kill him.
And then
I'd kill any one of you if you became a zombie.
Well, Brendan, I
Yeah,
know
exactly.
you. Any one of us, we're like,
Yeah.
Keenan, I'm not even turning, Brendan. Pow!
Damn.
more food.
But no, like, so what Ice just said though is a big point. Is that while she's on top of him and like trying to eat through this thing, he's pleading with her and saying, "You know who you are," like Rob was saying, and then like she's still growling and stuff, but then you just see water start to fall on him because she's crying.
Yeah.
And she's like crying, and then she like slows down, like kind of calms down, and then in that moment,
Boom! This guy comes out of nowhere and knocks her ass out.
Yo, this dude, he steps on the scene. I was like, this dude's dope.
This is, I mean, this guy was like the Goblin Slayer role in this particular show where he shows up out of nowhere and he's just like, yeah, I know what's up. You can't have any mercy with these fucking demons because they eat people. The more people they eat, the stronger they get.
Yeah.
She's going to eat you. She doesn't know you anymore. So I'm going to do you a favor and chop this girl's head off.
yeah,
So-
his name is Giyu Tomoka. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
But Giyu. So, but the thing I want to point out is when he shows up, it shows him running up, and then both Nezuko and Tanjiro hear him coming. So she turns and looks right before he's about to strike, and then so does he, and he pulls her down to avoid the death slash, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Tanjiro saves her and puts his head into the position.
And he cuts some of the hair
cuts some
off.
of his hair off.
Yeah.
So that was a big moment.
Yeah,
like,
it
for
was.
sure.
But that's dope on all of their parts because then he has the skill set to not cut his head off and just cut his hair instead.
Yeah,
Everybody did something dope in that moment. She noticed and she was ready. Like she was gonna get killed for sure.
Yeah.
But she noticed and was ready. He saved her life because of his reflexes, just naturally.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't kill him. So all that was dope. And then it became fucking intense.
Yeah, because he's telling him like your sister's done, and he's holding her like, you know, basically by the collar, and he's just like, I'm gonna do this, and you need to realize that he lays into him. He's just like, you're weak. If you had been there, you'd be dead with the rest of your family. Like,
you don't have it in you.
You don't.
Shit,
Which
like,
honestly, he kind of, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You look at some of the stuff that he's done. He's done some survival things where you're like, all right, he has some type of skill set.
Yeah.
He ain't no Sinji.
He ain't the Sinji, the level of bitch that we're gonna keep it at. Like Kato is the knockout,
and
Sinji's
then
the bitch.
he's
All
the
right.
level of bitch.
Oh, poor Kato.
Go ahead, Rob.
I mean,
But just, I mean, that's so they're having that conversation, and he's just like, I can't let you kill. I can't sit here and let you kill my sister, like as the rest of my family's already dead.
Yeah.
So he charges this dude.
No, hold on a second. Let me just slow you down. This moment was really big too. But so what happened? Like the thing is, the guy takes his sister, has her hands behind her back, and he's like explains the shit that Rob just said. He's gonna kill her, and then Tanjiro literally begs and pleads and bows and puts himself in the submission stance, and then he's like, "No, quit being a bitch. You have to be stronger than this. Like, this is not how you defend someone. The weak get destroyed by the strong.
Yep.
And I could destroy you right now, and I could destroy her, just like your whole family got destroyed. Do something.
God.
Do something.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like,
Damn.
it was a real thing. But then on the
Yeah.
inside, they went to the eternal dialogue.
I mean,
and he
that was
just
some hound shit from Game of Thrones where he's just
Yeah.
like, you're too weak to make it through the winter.
Exactly.
You know, like, you're just not gonna make it.
And then he goes internal and is just like, but like, he's like, I want you to don't cry, don't break down, like respond.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro does. Like, My man stands up. He grabs his hatchet. He grabs 2 rocks. He throws one right at his face immediately. Both an excellent throw.
Yeah.
Throws it right at him. The dude has to block the rock, and then he runs between the trees, throws another rock, and then runs at him with a bloodlust charge. And the guy's thinking like, oh shit, like this guy's just gonna do like a reckless charge. So he just like bam, hits him in the back of the neck and knocks him out. And he's just like, that was it. This guy ain't shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, he's like, wait a minute, where's his axe? And it's like, barely dodges the axe that almost like that Tanjiro threw and made it so it was gonna kill him.
Yeah,
it was.
That
was a kill
was gonna kill him
for sure.
Right through his head.
Tanjiro had no bitch in him in that moment.
And he was basically, and he was like, all right, he showed some respect to the kid. He's just like, you charged me with the idea that I was gonna kill you, but kill me from the grave.
Yeah.
You know, like that's some
super impressive. You thought this through.
Yeah,
you're very smart.
He's just like, all right, cool. And like, I don't remember if the girl gets away or he lets her go, but she basically
no. So what happens?
He stabs her.
No, because when the axe hits, he has to dodge it, and he lets her go when he dodges it.
Yeah.
And then she jumps off,
and he thinks he's gonna go for him.
Yeah, because he jumps off to
Tanjiro.
dodge, and she's going right for Tanjiro, and he's like, oh shit, I can't protect him. He's gonna die because he's knocked out now. And she stands in front of him, puts her arms out, and it's like she protects Tanjiro. She doesn't try to kill him or eat him.
And, so
and he's just like,
now
what?
he sees that all right, something's in her still, or at least she's probably there a little bit.
And then he goes into the inner dialogue of like, I know how demons work.
Right, and I think he explains at some point where it's like, while the other people did get killed by the demon, what happened with her is she must have had some of her wounds exposed to demon blood, which is why she's now transforming.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if she got like a blow in on this demon or something like that.
And that's a good question. That's the thing that you have to wonder at this point. It's like, how did she get exposed? Was it purposeful?
Yeah.
Did the person who did this or the demon that did this like purposely like cut themselves and put blood in her blood,
like
or were they injured by what happened in that moment? Did somebody boss up and like make the demon bleed that got into her blood accidentally?
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of things that could have happened there.
Right.
But what's dope is like one thing he explains about demons is that demons survive off of human flesh and blood.
Yeah.
They have to have it. And the more, and like, so for her, as soon as she becomes a demon, it takes a lot of energy to do that. And then it also takes a lot of energy for her to like fight and grow and do all these kind of things. So she has to be like literally on the edge of
starving.
She's starving, literally.
So wait a second here. Mm-hmm. Was it actually demons that killed his family? Because they were sliced up, but they weren't eaten or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's like what you'll see in the show is like just for example, like when we see later on another demon, like they don't like eat their whole bodies.
Yeah.
Like they just eat like it's mostly like almost like vampires, or they just like take like your shoulder and just like eat that. So even you see it like they're like licking their fingers, like licking the blood. To me, it seems I don't know this for a fact. It just seems like it's more about the blood than it is about eating them. Unless they eat them whole.
But she also didn't look too banged up either. Like she didn't look like fucked up.
Well, remember, since she has demon blood, or she's turning.
No,
into
you
a demon
heal.
now,
Yeah, when
she
you get everything heals.
Oh yeah, because she healed super fast. Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
So,
he wakes. Yeah, so they wake up.
No, I was gonna say before that. So the way this ends is that he goes like he pretty much he knocks her instead of killing her. He just chops her in the throat and knocks her out because she starts attacking him to defend Tanjiro. Mm-hmm. He knocks her out, and then so now they're both knocked up. And then Tanjiro wakes up. He's still there, and he's just like, "Yo, you gotta look out for your sister. You don't let her kill anybody.
It's a cloudy day.
So she's not gonna die from the sun. You need to keep her out of the sun, and go to this guy. He'll train you and teach you everything you need to know.
You must seek out Yoda
just
and the Dogma system kind of shit.
He just did ninja vanish. Gone.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool shot.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's how that episode ends with him basically saying like, you gotta go find this dude to get some training. And so the next episode starts with, I thought this was a pretty funny moment. Tanjiro's at this farm and he's just like trying to buy some hay and some bamboo, and the guy's like, yeah, you can just have it for free, and he's just like, no, like I'm gonna pay you for it. He's like, no, you can have it for free. He's like, I'm gonna pay you for it.
Right.
He slams the change into his hand like so fucking hard.
Yeah.
He's like, ah! I thought that was funny. But
this show has some silly moments.
It does.
Yeah.
So he uses all that bamboo and stuff to basically weave a basket that he can carry his sister in. She's
like
in this little
sunproof.
cave. Yeah. She's hiding from the sun. He's just
Dude
like,
is handy.
Yeah. He's
been
like,
living on a farm.
He can survive in the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, absolutely.
Much better than
He's a protagonist that I actually like. I'm not a big fan of protagonists usually, but I
like Tanjiro too. Like
he's
Tanjiro,
capable.
He's not like he's dope.
Yeah,
and he's growing fast in the show.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, and so he's got this basket on his back, and he's making his way to the bottom of the mountain, wherever he's supposed to be going. And on his way there, he smells some blood. And he's just like, oh, shit, there's a lot of carnage nearby. And he and his sister, it's now nighttime, so she's out with him out of the basket. And they go up to this temple. And they open the door, and it's a bloodbath. Yeah, like it's a fucking crazy murder scene. Yeah, and they find this demon mid-meal who turns around and is just like, if you're looking for something to eat, like you got this is my turf. Like you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I'll fuck you up. Like, get out of my turf.
Like I'm eating. So and then he turns around and kind of like, wait, you guys smell different. You're like a human and a demon. Like,
he's like, what's going on? You guys are weird. And he's like, either way, I'm about to kill you.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm a demon. I'm gonna kill you.
So he comes at him, and Tanjiro is quick on the draw, and he slashes this dude's throat. But I mean, these guys heal. Yeah. And he
Tanjiro was dope. Like, dude came at him. He just fell back. Was like, shink. Yep. Like, throat's done. It's over.
But it's not.
Not at all. Good one. You almost got me.
But it teaches us about
right
demons.
Back up real fast.
It teaches us about demons.
Bob Crane.
Like he literally, like as soon as he was like, oh wow, that was cool. But watch this, and it was like, boop. He healed up. Like,
back up.
Yeah.
All right, that's no fun.
And then once again, he's on top of Tanjiro, like real quick, ready to kill him. And then his sister came up with the boss move. I was just.
I want to say, hold on. Before she did that, though, a big point to point out is that she got frozen at the door. And the reason she got frozen at the door is because she's watching another demon eat human blood, and she is salivating.
Yeah.
She's staring at it, and she's losing her shit.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to eat
this
them
so bad.
That looks like Chick-fil-A.
That's real, like salivate. Like it's like salivating, like dripping down her entire front.
And her mouth is covered with the thing.
Yeah,
it's dripping through that.
Yeah, she's got this like bamboo thing she bites onto, so she can't attack people.
Oh man.
So, but yeah, either way, she saves the day. She literally kicks off
boots
the
this
demon's
dude's head.
Yo,
she fucking. Oh, I keep forgetting his name.
Christine Ronaldo.
No, your boy from Mob.
Oh, Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan kick.
Demon kick.
Yeah.
Bow.
That was some soccer shit, bro.
He
He kicked the shit out of his head.
Yeah,
but that's not enough to kill this thing, because the body and the head like wake back up and just like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
and the
now it's
fucking
2-on-2.
The head grew arms, fam.
Yeah,
he was like.
So I'm just like, is this guy gonna like grow a new head and then that's two demons? Because they said earlier, like, hey, the only way these guys can reproduce is by
severing their head.
Well, they said the only way they can reproduce is by putting their blood into other people.
Yeah.
That's how they reproduce.
Yeah.
Man, I wish reproduction was like that still.
What?
Like not like so many less babies.
I feel.
So many less babies.
I have so many
By
thoughts.
exchanging blood with each other?
Right.
Oh,
It would not be less babies. Dude,
It would definitely be less babies.
But then where would the people that you'd give blood to come from?
Like it would be more less. It'd be not. I just took it out. It's out of context.
Okay.
But like,
All right, moving on.
less sex.
Moving on.
Accidental babies. Less accidental babies.
So the sister is going toe to toe with the body, the headless body, and the head sprouts its arms and is just like, I'm gonna get you, like kind of coming to Tanjiro, and he nails that thing to the tree. Like, well, the thing kind of gets on top of him and is just trying to get at him with his hair, and he nails the axe to the tree and like kind of pins him there,
which was a really dope move again by Tanjiro.
Yeah.
He throws the axe. Like he gets the guy, he tricks him, and then throws the axe, and then he pins him against the wall of the tree while his sister is fighting the thing's body and losing.
Kid has real survival skills, man.
Yeah, she's losing to that body because the body was whooping ass.
Yeah.
Well, and she's starving, so like this guy just ate.
Yeah.
You know, like he's been out here eating bodies for a long time.
And wait a second, you
I'm out here
can't
eating bodies, son.
demons can't eat other demons to.
Yeah, they can.
I don't know. Yeah, because they did say
They
like,
down
oh,
the mountain.
they can't eat each
The
other.
first thing I was thinking was like, just eat this motherfucker. If you that hungry,
Yeah.
eat him. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing I was thinking the whole fight.
But I feel like it might be one of them
I don't
things
think
where
she
if
could have won.
eats him,
Yeah.
then it's like that bloodlust just.
She could go
turns up.
crazy.
She could go crazy. Yeah.
She gets
The blood is
taste,
blood.
and then she's
Okay.
Yeah, you remember Blade? Like you guys get it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he does after he pins that head to the tree, he goes and helps his sister out, and that thing like falls neck down and hits a rock, and I guess like shatters every bone in the body, and it's a wrap for the body, I guess at that point.
Well, what's it called? Tanjiro does a scare because he the one that knocks it off, right?
Yeah.
Bruh, he wasn't even thinking. He jumps right off a cliff and hits this thing.
Save his sister, man. Again, like,
That's some
anything.
Smash Brothers shit.
Yeah, the suicide attempt to take you out with me.
yeah. Then his sister's there. She
She
he
saves
pushes
him.
it off.
Saves him.
She grabs him, pulls him back.
Doesn't
up.
go back for the bodies. No, she's still got the presence of mind to save her brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they go back, and the apparently the impact from the body is enough to knock out the head. He still feels the pain or something like
Yeah.
that, so he's out.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "What the fuck are we gonna do with this head? Like, I guess we gotta
Kill
Put it on
it.
a tree.
take it out or something."
Yeah.
And while they're debating that, out of nowhere, this dude with this crazy like goblin mask shows
That mask
up.
is dope.
That
Yeah,
mask
I like
was
it.
Yeah,
sick.
and he's just like, "Were you gonna finish this off, or like what are you
gonna do?
doing? What are you doing, huh?"
And he's like, he takes out his little knife. He's like, that's not gonna work. Then he goes to
took
grab
out-
a rock and is like,
If you think that's gonna do it,
yeah, go ahead and try.
That was a Goblin Slayer knife, the little ass knife. This reminds me of Goblin Slayer with his little swords.
Swords.
There it is. Shut it.
Swords.
Keenan with W's, man. You got a W fixation.
So he's literally debating Tanjiro how he's gonna do this for so long. The demon wakes up and he's just like, "Oh, if I'm gonna get these legs, I'm gonna break out of here. I'm gonna fucking kill you." And then the sun comes up and he just
and he
just
dies.
he's
He just
screaming.
disintegrates. Like very vampire-like. These demons are very, very much so like vampires, but like it feels like they are vampires, but we're like we want to make a show about vampires, but don't call it vampires and give them more powers than vampires have. And more diversity of powers.
Less
than vampires
garlic.
have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which, there's definitely things where vampires are sort of demon related.
Very much so. It's a blurred line. It's a blurred line.
But so his sister luckily is not in the sunlight when the sun comes up, and they're just like, "Oh, she's safe. All right, cool." And he's like, "All right, come with me to my place. Your sister will be safe, and I'm gonna." I got this test I basically want to run you through. So
see if you can be one of my pupils.
Yeah, see if you're worthy.
Because it's the guy that the guy told him to go see. It's
he
him.
told him to go save him. Yeah.
So they drop their sister off at the place, and he's just like, "All right, cool. She can rest here for a while. Follow me up this mountain." And he takes him up to the top of this mountain, and then he's just like, "All right, well, bye. Like,
get back down.
Meet you back at my place. I'm not gonna be waiting for you. You got until sunrise." And he takes off. And he's
Tanjiro's like, I got this.
Yeah,
I got a sense of smell. I know your smell, bro.
No problem. But what he doesn't realize at first is there's all these fucking traps laid between him and the house. And so he eventually figures out he can smell the traps in a way.
But he can't dodge them.
But no, he doesn't have the skills to get out of the way.
Those traps were brutal, weren't they?
It whipping his ass.
Yeah.
That log catching him in the face.
That log catching him in the back of the head. I'm like, that would have been the end of. I would have been on the. Like, I wouldn't have been a demon slayer.
He tried. He started off kind of strong. And
he got fucked up. I said, let's put it this way. I'll say that this is he nearly got KO'd on the way down this mountain.
He did.
Yeah,
but he manages to make it all the way down, and he opens up the door right at the break of sunrise, and the guy's just like, "All right, you can be my student." And that's the end of episode 2. So episode 3, actually, this was the one that really comes through at breakneck speed. Like, this covers 2 years in a half hour.
And it does a good job.
I didn't feel like it was too rushed.
No, it didn't feel rushed. There was a lot of character development. Like, this is like one of the best. So this episode is the episode when I was like, okay, this anime has something for me. Because it was like we need to do a training montage over 2 years to be able to show this character growth development, but also don't lose sight of who he is, his relationship with his mentor, and how it is that he came to the power that he gets. Yeah. This is one of the most artfully done pieces in that space that I've seen.
Yeah.
In the amount of time that they took. Because normally on most anime, this is a 3 to 4 episode piece, what we're watching right now.
Oh, yeah, easily.
It is done in one episode, and I didn't feel bad about it.
Well, because I don't think they put any BS filler in it. They got straight to the shits for his training. There was everything was a purpose in this episode for him to do. Sometimes when you do these training episodes, they'll just stop, chill, talk, reflect. He was like, he reflected, but he was going straight with the shits the whole time.
It was kill with the shit.
Yeah, it was dope because he was learning shit that was really important, the stuff that you never think about in anime.
Yeah.
It's like, I had to learn how to fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to learn how to take impacts and fall. I had to learn how to run with a sword and balance my body. I had to learn how to breathe. The breathing is the biggest thing. I had to learn how to do full concentration breathing, which, like the guy said, he's like, it's really hard.
Well, he explains, that out there's this Demonslayer core. It's this like group of people of like mortal dudes that don't heal that have to go fight against these immortal creatures that heal in a second.
Yeah.
But they have these special swords that allow them to kill them, and that's like the only thing that'll kill these demons.
Yeah. And they have to learn to be able to put their bodies into hyper mode to be able to keep up with them. So it's like you almost become like a demon because you overload your body with breath and put it in the right space and oxygen. So you excite your cells and you can be, for sportive moments, you can be as strong as a demon.
Right. Yeah. And so we hear this episode through his journal entries to his sister, who's basically in a coma this whole time. Yeah. Probably because she hasn't eaten any people in a long fucking time.
I'm hungry, bitch.
That's the thing, too. And you can't even satisfy that. Like, oh, here goes a little finger I found. Like, she just got to.
So she can't eat regular food at all?
It probably won't do anything for her.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so she's napping this whole time. Yeah. She's napping this whole time, and he's filling her in through the journal. He does a year training with this guy.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it was a year and a half till they even said it. Like, basically, I was like, wait, what?
They do a year. It's like a year, but like they do the year training where he's like, and at the end of the year, the old man is just pretty much like, hey, I taught you everything. And he walks him out to this rock, and he's like, you see this rock right here? This giant boulder that has like a rope around it that has like tassels on it.
It's not a boulder. It's a rock.
That is a boulder all day. What's that from again? SpongeBob. God, I love SpongeBob. But he takes him out. He's like, hey, my job as your instructor is to teach you all the things you need to know. And then if I give you my blessing, then you can go and take a test to be able to become part of this Demonslayer corps. But I won't give you your blessing until I see you break this rock. You have to
slice this rock in half.
And it's a boulder that's probably like, what would you guys say, like 15 feet tall, like 12 feet wide.
Yeah.
Well, this does remind me of other shows we've watched where it's like Baki, where you have the people that could like carve the stones with hand. Even original Dragon Ball, like doesn't Master Roshi with Krillin and Goku. He's just like, oh yeah, you move this huge rock if you want me to train you, something like that.
Yep.
So similar thing we've seen before, but so he leaves him, and it does take another 6 months of him like trying to cut this rock. He's out there every day, and he's getting no progress. Nothing happening.
And I like the part that it's like he didn't like One Punch Man and shit, where he just fucking just worked extra hard to get to it, like to beat it. It's like he worked extra hard and it still didn't get him anywhere.
No,
and
because he's definitely at the end of this year, he becomes kind of a badass in the fact that that as he's been running that mountain more and more, they've been throwing more and more dangerous traps at him, like where it's like fucking knives shooting out at him, and he's blocking all that shit with his sword. So he's no joke now, and he still can't like split this thing open. But after 6 months, he gets snuck up on again. Basically, these two kids wearing these masks, they say are foxes, look like fucking cats to me. But they show up and they're just like, oh, so you're the new student of our teacher. Like, let's see what you're about. And they go at him, and especially this one dude who's got like a scar on his mask, and he's just like, if you're a real man, like you'll fight me right now.
Yeah, if you're a man, exactly. He kept saying that. If you're crying, you're whining. If you're a man,
like, do something.
Don't bitch up again.
Which is very reminiscent of what that first guy told him. Like, do something.
Yeah.
And so he fights him, and this guy with the mask beats the fucking brakes off him.
That's Sabito, and the girl's in Makomo.
Yeah.
That's the girl.
Sabito's
he beats the shit. He's a monster. Yeah. And the way he talks to him, too, like the way he comes at him, he's just like, you're going to leave your butt in the dirt? Come at me like a man. Stand up. Take your stand.
He's like shooting through the trees, like, shoo, 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 shoo. Like, only like the blue streak, coming after him.
That was dope.
This guy's no joke, and to Tanjiro's credit, for another 6 months, keeps coming back to get the brakes beat off of him every day.
He gets fucked up, and the girl
determined.
And then the girl the whole time is like teaching him like the finer points. Like it feels like he's the hammer, and like she's the
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, good cop, bad. She's the good cop, and she's like, no, like here's why you have to understand the breathing. Here's why the stance is important. So she's teaching him, and he's fighting. He's beating the shit out of him to be able to make him to the person he can be.
Yeah.
And something that Sabito says that I think rings true to a lot of people, and just even education in general, is just like, you've memorized the facts, but you don't realize what that means in actual practice.
Bro, that was me all throughout college, bro. Memorizing
just
everything, and then like the next semester, I gotta retain this shit.
Right.
Damn it.
Especially like math,
right?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
That's exactly what I
That's
thought.
That's what my teacher would always be like, remember how to do it. Like, don't remember the math problem. Remember the equation, like how to do it. Like, don't memorize the problem.
Elementary always.
I used to hate that
life.
when they're like, memorize like the quadratic equation, and then you're like, okay, you have to not only memorize it, and now you have to also memorize how to use it.
Yeah.
And don't forget that negative sign, because you forget one negative sign.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
Oh, you're done.
So that's immediately what it reminded me of when you said that. With math, and I was like, fuck.
But after 6 months, like I said, this is all one episode. After 6 months, Tanjiro finally like lines up, and the guy, when he first fought him, he was fighting him with a wooden sword and beat the fuck out of Tanjiro. But the final fight, he brought out a metal sword.
Oh, it gets real.
And he's like, all right, you're a man now.
And so the thing about this, he's like, yeah, you have the look of a man. But the thing about this is this reflects a lot of the things. Cause at one point in my life, I got really into, like when I started getting into anime, I started getting into samurai culture and understanding like what the life of a samurai was and how shitty it was, first of all. But the other thing is like how a samurai fight actually used to go. Is typically each guy only got to swing the sword one time. Like what we see in these anime, we're like, king, cling, cling, cling. That's not what happened. Like he said in this episode, typically the way it worked is whoever was faster and stronger, it just wins.
Because it's a fucking sword.
Exactly, but that's it. It's like
one
they stand
slice is done to be
exactly. They stand at each other, they look at each other, and then it's just like one move. They each get one move, and whoever does the better, stronger, faster move kills the other person in one swing. And that's what happens.
It's like a duel.
Yeah, because they're not going there to slice you up or hurt you. It's like they're going. Every shot is for the kill.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Kill
Tanjiro
shot.
cuts his mask off. But then, you see his face. He looks kind of not like what you expect him to look like. He's
he's
very
like
nice gentle face. Like you think he's gonna be like a badass looking dude, and then he like smiles, disappears.
Well, and also what Tanjiro explains, he's like, this is different because he's always used his sense of smell, And part of what we've heard from earlier episodes is that his teacher also has a very good sense of smell. He could smell the kindness coming off of Tanjiro, and he's just like, I don't know if this kid's gonna cut it. The letter he got from the original Demonslayer that Tanjiro met, he's just like smelling. He's like, hey, this guy's got a strong sense of smell like you did, Master. Like maybe you should take a look at this guy.
Heir apparent, maybe.
Probably, maybe he could be your heir. So maybe you should train this dude. And so what Tanjiro experiences in that moment is he can use a sense of smell to detect openings, and the way he visualizes it
it's like
is a string, a thread that becomes taut, and when it becomes tight, he can see where to strike, and he uses that to slice through the guy's mask.
The way he explains it, he says that my sword is drawn to that spot with incredible force. It just happens. It feels like it's like subconscious. It just happens. So and that's what happens. Like he cuts the guy's mask off, but then he disappears after smiling. The girl disappears, and before she disappears, she says, "Remember what you just did." Mm-hmm. And then he opens and then there's like this fog clears and the rock's in front of him and it's split in two. That was dope how they did that.
That was dope.
I wasn't expecting
it was tight too how they said like he's smiling, but I see sadness in his smile. And then
this shit has levels to it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So he split the rock, and the moment he does it, his master comes up, and he's just like,
I didn't think you were going to do this, to be quite honest with you.
Yo, now you show up, get your ass back in the fucking forest, man.
He was like, shit.
You've been going a year and a half to fuck
timing,
out my face.
how the timing, you just come.
Well, he knew.
Yeah. He gave him an impossible task.
Yeah. You don't think he heard a rock that size, that close to his house being split in two?
Still, man. Take your ass back down first.
So
that's like Goku coming and seeing Gohan after Piccolo didn't train him. Like,
my son.
Look at you, how strong you've gotten. I'm sure that's because of my genes.
Yeah,
right.
So he does tell him, like, I give you my blessing to go take this final test. And
he's sad.
He thinks to himself, he's just like, because I don't think he tells him that he didn't intend to ever endorse him, but he thinks to himself like he just didn't want any more dead kids on his hands.
He did say that to him. He was like, motherfuckers gonna die up there, and I don't want you to be one of those, so please come back.
Everything you're about to face, if you thought the training was hard, like that wasn't anything.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna hug you right now. I'm gonna appreciate you, and I'm gonna cook you the best meal I can. I want you to enjoy it, and like before you leave, I'm gonna make sure. Like, did you enjoy that meal?
That was your last meal in his head.
Yeah, he's like, I hope you really like. He pretty much to Tanjiro's like, I care about you. Thank you.
He gives him a mask. He gives him his own fox mask that's got like the scar up there, and he tells him it's like a warding mask that he put a spell on. And as Tanjiro's leaving, he's just like, oh yeah, and like say thanks to those kids for me, Sabito and the girl.
He's like, how does he know those dead kids?
Yeah.
And then for me, at that moment, I was like,
I was like,
oh,
yeah.
I was like, this
I
show.
knew they was dead because when she said like, there's a bunch of us here watching you.
That's
why I was like, oh, okay, they're probably dead.
I was thinking they were dead when he's just like, oh, they don't have any smell on them, and I'm like, well, no, that doesn't sound right.
But it's just like, it feels like to me, it's like he trained himself into a space of oblivion, that he crossed kind of the plane, or like his body was allowed to cross into a plane where he could physically interact with these spirits, because he's just that far gone, because he had to go somewhere like that to be able to pull out the power that he did to be able to split the rock.
I don't know how true that is, but if that is, that's deep as fuck.
Well, these ghosts also have fucking beef, because there's some shit going down in this test.
Oh my gosh.
There's no more room for any more dead kids in this forest, all right? Somebody's got to kill this motherfucker. So
that's real.
He goes off.
That's so real.
So he goes to the foot of this other mountain where they've got like all these purple trees, and they've got these purple flowers, and it was cool looking.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
And he's just like, oh, these are blooming like out of season.
The animation for this is really dope.
It's top notch. Top notch.
There's a bunch of other kids there. This kind of reminded me of the when they show up to the test with the other teacher. And there's all the other psychics there.
This is a very common anime thing. They did it in Hunter x Hunter.
Sizing them up.
So it's just like everybody comes together. They all have a group.
That's like an anime thing.
It is.
Absolutely.
They did it in My Hero. They do it in pretty much all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
So they did that.
They've got these two like what seem like little girls up at the front. They've got like a light one and a dark one,
but
twin
things.
Yeah, fucking
Kubrick
from The Shining.
The Shining and shit at the end of the highway. Hallway. Excuse me.
Creepy dead little girls or whatever. Like that always just creeps me out.
Little kids
just like dead kids. That's creepy. I don't like that.
So I like to point out one thing that I did notice here, that if you watch the beginning, did you guys? One thing I never recommend that somebody who's watching anime for the first time is don't watch the opening song.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, we're gonna see some of these kids.
It gives away so much shit. But
I always hated that.
Yeah. So one thing I will say though is that like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff I noticed the second time around that I didn't notice the first time. There's a bunch of wide shots of all those kids, and in those wide shots, there's a bunch of people in those shots that you're like, oh shit, you were there. Like, I never remember seeing you there, kind of thing. So
that is interesting. And yeah, because I spotted a few guys that I recognized from the opening, and I'm like, they're gonna come up. They're gonna come up.
I skip through it so I don't ruin it. For
Good job.
That is good. But I will say, like, you can kind of spot them because as you're going through the crowd, there's a bunch of like normal looking anime people, and then like a dude with a fucking sick ass scar, and you're like, well, they're not gonna not bring that guy back up.
Yeah,
like
or
he's
guys like
you
a
can
bright
tell
orange
by the way
kimono.
they draw some of these guys, like they're going to be in the show.
And you see, like they wear like browns and like very neutral colors.
Neutral colors. And one guy's wearing a color just like yours. Actually, that's the specific guy I'm talking about. It's the guy who has your colors. But either way, they gather them. They tell them that the test is literally they have to survive in the wisteria is the plant
that purple that purple tree stuff,
and it grows year round in a ring around this mountain. So demons hate that plant, so they can't go through it. So they're pretty much an impenetrable fortress for demons. They can't leave. So a bunch of demon slayers took a bunch of demons and captured them and brought them to this place so it can be a training place for the demon corps. And so also probably they could study demons or whatever they need to do. So
wouldn't it be smart to just grab some of that flour on the way in and just keep it in your back pocket? Like,
you would think.
Be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Nobody did that we know of.
That we know of.
So what happens then is the girls explains like you have to survive for what? How many days?
7 days.
7 days. You have to survive for 7 days in the top of this mountain area with north of this wisteria, and good luck. Go.
Yeah. That and I like it from like a diction standpoint. Like to me, 7 days seems a lot longer than a week. Like it's the same shit.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's like
you gotta go 7 days. Like you gotta do this for 7 days. Like oh fuck, and it's like
it's
got
a mental
1 week.
thing.
Yeah. So I think kudos to them for doing it like that.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro's out there. He's just like, all right, cool. If I can just like stay awake during the nighttime,
he said,
I'm
gonna stay to the
sleep
east
during
side.
the daytime.
I'm gonna go to the east side of the mountain. Like,
Where the sun rises first.
Sunrise is first. He's being smart about it. He's trying to play the long game here.
And he's like, oh shit, I smell some demons.
Yeah, and he's immediately on his guard, and he gets attacked by these two guys who also start going like, well, I saw him first. Like, fuck off. I'm gonna eat this guy.
Yeah.
And they decide to team up and try to take him out. And
they had the strings, man. They had the strings.
He's got the strings. There's no hesitation. He's out here chopping heads.
Them up.
I'm sorry to keep bringing up Goblin Slayer, but that reminded me when he had that fucking scroll and that shit sliced him.
Oh yeah. Because he's got like a water element to his technique.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Like
it's
the way it's just like
he's
like second form or first form, like slash the top of the water.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the other forms. Is all I gotta say. Like he has. Remember, he said there's 10 forms to it.
Yeah.
So it's like that means that we get to see 10 different attacks or things that he has with the water.
They know exactly when to turn up the animation on the show.
Yeah.
Have you seen Okami? I mean, not seen played Okami. This is like an old PlayStation 2 game.
No.
Nah.
Oh, it's kind of like that though. Like the animation is pretty dope.
Yeah.
And the water and stuff.
No, I love that. Like this is like very traditional, like Japanese, like animation in the sense of not just anime. It's like this is the way that during these periods in the Edo period, this
like
is how people
waves.
painted stuff, like the waves and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that is, and it looks beautiful, but at the same time, it's deadly. He kills both demons with one slash.
Yeah.
Which is boss.
Yeah, and he's just like, all right, well, 2 down, but immediately he's just like, oh fuck,
what is that smell?
It's
Yeah.
something terrible.
And he sees a kid running and tripping and like he's about to get killed by this giant blob like demon.
Horror.
That kind of reminds me of somebody from Hunter x Hunter. No, from Brotherhood.
It reminds me of Envy.
Oh yeah, the big
Envy,
yellow dude.
Yeah. It reminded me of Envy. But this big blob was chasing him, and then this guy was about to get killed. First of all, the blob is chasing this other guy. Already has one of the kids in his hand. Already has killed a dead one and eats him whole. And then gets stronger immediately. You see it happen.
See him get bigger.
And then he has these hands that shoot out really fast. And he grabbed this guy by the ankle, was about to kill him. And Tanjiro was like, either I'm about to be a bitch or I'm about to save him. And he saved him.
Deku shit.
Yeah, he saved him. He stepped up.
He stepped up. He saved him. And
the blob is immediately just like, oh, I recognize that mask.
Yeah.
Oh, another little fox for me to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I've
just
eaten a bunch of these motherfuckers before.
Yeah, and he explains to Tanjiro, he's just like, yeah, I know where you come from. He's basically like, oh, you got taught by the same guy that fucking put me in this place.
Yeah,
Put me in this motherfucker.
And he's basically telling him like he's been scoping out that guy's students specifically and eating them one by one.
He goes, hold on, wait a second. What year is it? I've been here for like 50 years.
Yeah.
It's like 47 years.
Yeah, 47 years.
He was heated.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm about to kill the shit out of you. But then he also
kill you, bro.
He also details what happens with the other 2 kids that trained Tanjiro.
Yeah.
He's like, here's how I killed them.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to attack Tanjiro and almost kills him.
Yeah,
he
Tanjiro
punches
attacks him because
Yeah.
what happens was he tells him what he does with those two kids, and he's like, when I killed the first kid and I told the girl about him, she got mad and went into a rage when she pretty much lost her senses, and that's how I was able to
She
kill
wasn't
her.
fast anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I was
knew
able to
her
kill
moves.
her.
And the
you
guy
see
was
that happens immediately with Tanjiro.
Yeah.
The other thing that's
Got
dope
in
is
his
that
head.
she's like, the guy actually got the closest to killing me.
Yeah.
He got to the point where he can slash my neck, but
He
I was
protects his neck.
My neck
I,
is too
I
protected.
love
Protects
how
your
that
neck,
was set
so-
up because his or her, whatever the
his
fuck
arms
it is,
are wrapped
His
around his neck.
his arms were basically
Yeah.
the neck, like that shit
And
was,
his
and his
mouth,
lips,
it was
and it
like,
was
that
his
was crazy.
mouth. Like,
Yeah.
that shit was
But
dope.
I did think it was dope how like he lost his rage too,
Yeah.
and that's how they died, or that's how the girl died anyway.
But then
just
you hear
gave
the
you the
girl,
blueprint,
the spirits come to him though. And they're just
Yeah.
like, Tanjiro, calm down. And he's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, because in the distance, like back in the forest, like the spirits are talking to each other, just like, do you think he's gonna beat him? And he's like, I don't know. He's eaten a lot of us so far. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, they
and
kept it real.
every one of them it makes him stronger. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, "This is the biggest boulder that anybody's ever
It's
cut,
like,
though."
yeah.
So this dude is
And
the
the dude,
truth.
and the
He's
main
real
guy,
deal.
the guy that was like whooping Tanjiro's ass, is just like, I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if he can win or not. He's like, I hope he can cut him because
Yeah.
he's like, I cut my boulder too, and I didn't cut him.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he got close, and they showed that animation that when he
broke
protected
his
his
Punched
sword,
him
he reached
Yeah.
out and crushed his head, just
Yeah.
like nothing.
And then ate him.
And which is exactly what he plans to do to Tanjiro, because after he knocks him into the tree, Tanjiro is
saved by his little brother.
well,
Yeah.
he is, because he gets his fucking mask gets smashed
Yep.
Yeah.
immediately, and he's about to get in on him, and his brother, he's just like, Tanjiro, like wake up, like the spirit of his brother
As he's
wakes
about to
him
get
back
killed.
up.
Yeah.
As he's
And
about to
his
get
master
killed.
ain't shit for sending him in there with that mask on.
Yeah,
feel
like,
like-
he didn't really do much
master-
anything.
I don't think his master is aware that that's what's going on. He's just like, my kids aren't strong enough, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how would he know?
I don't
you
think
know?
this one
They don't
guy
come
is just
back.
killing his kids. Yeah.
Yeah, how would he know it's the same
One
demon
demon,
that he
yeah.
put in there that's just killing all of his students? And even so, if his students can't handle a demon that he handled and put in there, he's right to be mad at himself. I didn't train them enough.
Yeah.
He should have gave all those students the same rock he gave Tanjiro.
Yeah.
The morph, because he was called a morph demon. Because demons, from what they say, demons aren't supposed to last that long. They can maybe have 2 or 3 bodies, and then at some point they end up dying.
Yeah.
But this one has lived way longer than what it's supposed to, and has been eaten for 47 years.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
he's eaten like 50 people or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It just keeps changing and evolving, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And so, Tanjiro.
He was tough. I'm just saying, this demon was
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, he
man.
was real
His
deal.
power was crazy.
Yeah.
Like the way he could throw these arms at you that just keep like it's a lot. But
That
Tanjiro
character
does his
design
breathing.
is interesting. I wonder what made them think of just a whole bunch of arms.
Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
The hands.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
That's a joke. I don't know. I
So-
think there was something like that from Brotherhood. I feel like
It is Brotherhood.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
green because it was
Envy.
green too.
It was Envy had a
Yeah.
bunch of just like a bunch of people kind of coming out
Come
of him.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
But what did it for me from that design is when the arms and stuff were the lips. That was dope.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
opened
it
up
was
his
cool.
lips.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
eat him. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
So yeah, as Tanjiro is comes back to his sense and he's charging this thing and he's just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do exactly what I did to Sabito. I'm gonna wait for this guy to get close and then I'm gonna crush his head after he deflects off of my protection.
The fight was actually dope though because Tanjiro like smelled him coming from underground, jumps,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dodges those, and he's like, shit, how did he know? He's like, but he's in the air, he can't dodge in the air, so he throws hands at him. But then Tanjiro deflects his hit, like he kicks the guy's hand and then like rolls off of his shit and then like starts running down his arm, and he's just like, I'm about to slash shit out of him, and he's thinking to myself like, oh well, he could try to slash me, but my neck is
strong.
super protected.
My
And Tanjiro's
neck.
like,
Protect your
back.
neck.
water
he
breath,
sees-
full concentration.
he
He
sees
sees the
the
line.
thread.
He sees
Yeah.
the thread, and the episode ends with him slicing the whole
Slicing.
top of that demon off.
That's how you end a episode, bro.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
That's how you get people to be like, I'm gonna keep watching this shit.
All right, so I'd
Go
love to
ahead.
go around the table and see how you guys feel about what we've seen so far. Ice,
What?
you were late, so you get to go first.
It's cool. I like it.
Wow, what?
Yeah,
I think that was,
What?
Honestly, that
doesn't shock
sounded,
me at all,
I'm gonna
to
be
be
honest.
I don't know what to do with. That's
I'll
all
be
you have
honest.
to say?
I'll be honest. It sounded forced.
Yeah, you okay?
It sounded mad forced.
You having
it
a bad
doesn't
day,
sound
Ice?
believable at
Something
all.
No, I'm
wrong?
good. No.
Yeah.
I'm past that. But no, like it's cool. It has potential. I don't know. It's cool.
I gotta wait till we finish.
Is this something
because
you would watch on your own? Like, would you keep watching this if you're watching on your own?
Nah, probably not.
Really?
after the
probably
4
not.
episodes you wouldn't keep watching?
After
Probably
these
not.
4 episodes,
I don't know
you'd be
because
done?
it's just something about it that's just like
I was like, well, thank you, Ice.
It-
You're
it-
being yourself again.
it's just like I don't know. It's just something I would watch it to kind of prove myself right, to see if there's something that's bothering me about it. But I just feel like there's something missing.
So the answer is yes, you keep watching it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Rob.
Because I've been. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like it okay. I'm
Yeah.
not loving it, to be
Yeah.
honest. And I think honestly, what I picked up on it that was kind of bothering me is actually something that you brought up in the past. I feel like the show explains way too much, to be honest, where it's just like, and we talked about this during Baki, where it gives me a fucking history lesson to like be able to tell me how cool it is. I'm like, you didn't need to tell me all that for me to recognize how cool it was. Like, you could have just done it and I would have been like,
That's
I got
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Like the whole like explanation of just like, oh, he threw the axe and then he came at me. Like, yeah, dude, I put that together when I saw it happen.
I don't know if I would have put all that together, like on all of them, because I mean, it really depends on how they. So you're saying visually tell the story instead of verbally?
Yes, and this show is the thing that bothers me is it's spoon feeding me everything, and it's just like there isn't a thought that any character has that doesn't come out of his mouth. There's nothing where you can be like, I'm inferring what's going through this guy's head right now. I'm trying to figure out what he's going through and putting the puzzle together, and that's what I really like about a show.
Right.
What draws me into a show is just like, oh, cool, like I can come up with my own interpretation and like see what's going on. But with this show, they're very much like, here's what's happening, and you don't have to think about it because it's just here it is.
Yeah.
I kind of like it though, because then you get to think about what they were thinking about. Because the thing is, it's just a preference, because you like to think about what they might be thinking about, and for me. All their thoughts so far, I'm like, that was a dope ass thought.
But even like the dead thing, like him saying that he could, like, I feel like a better way to go about that is him just being like, granted he has a mask on, so you can't really see his facial inflections, but like when he was like, oh, say, peace out to the kids for me, then he could have been like, what the fuck? Like, instead of saying, how does he know about my dead people? Like, I feel like it would have been stronger if the reveal was when he fought the demon versus him saying it. Like,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Go ahead, Rob.
Well, yeah, I mean, that just to finish that off, like, I like it, and I'd probably keep watching it on my own, but this falls into that category of like, what I call easy TV, where I'm just like, I'm going to put this on. I don't have to think much about it. And it's just like, all right, cool. That was a cool way to spend a half an hour. But
and if I miss an episode, it's like, oh, okay. Like if I, like, it's all right. Like, all right.
I like it okay. Yeah. It's fun.
All right.
It's a fun 4 episodes.
I see what Rob's saying with the over explanation. I feel like I like a balance with that.
Sure.
I like in some cases where you don't tell me anything, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. It's all visual. Now, like sometimes I'm like, I want to know what the fuck he was actually thinking.
Sure.
Me personally, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm in. I was excited because I've heard so many great things from the audience. I've had so many people tell me to watch this. I get text messages from people, dog, you ain't start Demonslayer yet, bro. Like, I'm like, we're gonna get to it at some point.
Yeah.
So we're finally here. The animation's dope.
Yeah.
I like the protagonist. I feel like it's gonna lead to a dope antagonist somewhere, or the reason why. Unlike Goblin Slayer, I feel like Goblin Slayer just never gave us that.
Yep.
I like. I think I said like the animation. I'm in. I don't like right now. I'm also watching Fire Force and Dr. Stone.
That shit is fucking cold.
With Fire Force,
it's dope.
Yeah,
I
like
would watch
Fire
that
Force.
shit every day.
I like
Fire Force right now is like the anime for me. So is Dr. Stone is dope. This is not as good as those two as of right now, but I think this has the potential of being a dope ass anime. But it still didn't give me that feeling that My Hero gave me when I first watched My Hero, even though I was trying to push it off and then Brennan pushing on it. So I think right now, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say, like, Fire Force is fucking hard. Like, I really like
That's
that.
what I was trying to say that. I was saying that.
Dope.
He was like, and I think I said, it's fire as hell. And he goes, after 2 episodes, you already saying it's fire, dog? I'm like, just watch it, bro. I'm telling you. It's
I don't like his power.
He
that
had to
come
find something
from his feet. I thought that was kind of whack.
He
But
had to find
I'm with that
something.
too.
I thought that was whack.
It's a dope show though. Like
the other dude with the Excalibur,
that dude's dope as shit.
He's hype too. The girl's dope too.
The girl,
All right, hold on. Hey guys, you gave your opinions.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, here you go, Brennan.
Fire Force.
Lord
I haven't
Brennan.
watched it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the show, Brennan? I mean, you picked it.
Yeah.
No, I picked it. I picked it because for me, this is very much so an archetype of a well-done anime. Like, is this the best anime I've ever seen? No. Is it up there? Could it make the top 10? Yes. It really can. But the thing is, I still haven't, like, I've seen 17 episodes. There's 26. So, like, I still, even where I'm at right now, I'm still just like, okay, this still has the potential of doing that. And it still has done some really amazing things. And I'm actually really excited to see how some of your guys' perceptions of what you've seen changes, because I think mine's going to change as well. It's because these thoughts that we just had right now that you guys expressed to me aren't thoughts I had when I watched it. I was just like, I enjoyed the ride. But one of my favorite things about anime is like I like to be able to like be fully immersed in something and not have to think.
Yeah.
So This anime does that for a really good. The first 4 episodes does a really good job of that. But what I think happens, like I said, when just specifically speaking to that thing, and I don't remember that. I don't remember. I know where it is now. It's not doing it anymore. Is that it doesn't it only really explains stuff to you in the beginning. And the only reason I can think that happens is that's how it moves at the breakneck speed it does to be able to get you past all this training, to be able to get you through all this stuff. It has to be able to kind of spoon feed you to get faster.
I don't even
quickly.
necessarily mind the exposition of just like this is what demon slayers are. This is how demons work. Like okay, I gotta know that.
Internal thoughts.
Or even just like when they pinned that demon up against the tree and he's just like, oh, my hair is tangled on the axe. I'm like, I'm looking at your hair tangled around the axe. I can tell.
That was a lot. I agree. That's a great example. But I think, like I said, I think, and don't hold me to it, that aspect of the show trails off. Like they taper that off because they don't need to do it anymore. Because then the show takes on its own arcs where it's just like, well, here's the reason why we're doing this thing now. And you already have all this foundational information that these first 4 episodes, I personally think these first 4 episodes did an excellent job of nothing more of letting you know what the show's about in the sense of like the general plot, laying that foundation, giving you some very specific character development, focusing on the protagonist. Because otherwise, like one thing that a lot of animes do is they bring in other side characters too quickly, and you don't have the development for specifically either that side character, or they're trying to develop 2 characters at once instead of saying, no, we're going to take one at a time so you can actually fully feel what this person's about and be able to appreciate the interaction when you get somebody else coming into the show. So I think this does a really, really good job of establishing we know who the fuck Tanjiro is now. We know what he's about. We know why he's about it and what his mission is. Like it's very clear, set forth. We don't know. We have no idea of how he's going to get there. We have no idea of the path it's going to take or what kind of powers are going to be needed or the things he's going to encounter. But for me, this is a hell of a way to set up a platform. I'm like, they're like, here's a platform. It's up to you right now. You can either make something great right now or fuck this whole platform up.
Yeah, because like he's obviously like he's going to try to become a dope-ass demon slayer, but the big thing he's trying to do is get his sister back.
And that's what makes it even better is that there's a dual purpose. It's like the guy, Teichiro never wanted to be a demon slayer. Like this is not one of his goals. His main goal is to save his sister, but to be able to save his sister, he has to become a very strong demon slayer. So it's just really cool to see that, like these things that are like that have to line up and work. And so for me, I really picked this show again because I really feel like this is a great example of how is it that we can go about setting up an anime or doing an anime that for me feels like the most like middle of the road traditional anime that there is, but has all these modern aspects to it when it comes to the pacing or the character development and the fights and the animation. It's just like this is top-notch anime being made right now. That enough of this has already been released that we can watch it in the speed that we watch it without having to be held up by something like Dr. Stone or Fire Force.
This anime is my type of anime. I'll say it's my speed. It's the type. I'm with Brennan when it comes to anime. I don't want to have to sit there and think a whole bunch because a lot of times we're multitasking. We got other shit we got to do. I don't got time to figure shit out because life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I watch it to escape. I watch it to completely disappear into that piece.
It's like So it's this is like up my alley in the style of anime that I like. So I mean I think you honestly picked I think a winner in a sense of. Even though it's only 4 episodes in, the crowd already agrees that this is one of the best animes out right now. So at least with the audience, you're not going to lose this. Now, we can, of course, turn on it and be like, we just don't fuck with it. But the audience is already on your side. So no matter what we say in these clips or whatever like that, they're going to be like, well, we don't really fuck with what y'all saying.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I didn't even know that. I didn't know, like, the thing is, it's such a new anime. It's only been out for, like I said, a few months. A lot of the people who are, like, in anime groups with me that I watch anime with haven't gotten to this one yet because they're still watching other things I've recommended to them. So I'm just like, hey, this is what's next up on your queue. You know, kind of thing. Because a lot of people who I know, like, they like to binge and they'll watch everything like a weekend. So they're like, wait, let me just let the 26 episodes finish, and then I'll watch all of it. So they won't even watch it until all the way comes out. For me, I kind of enjoy the weekly thing. It's like every Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, I get to watch one more episode of like Dr. Stone, Fire Force, Demon Slayer, Black Clover.
That shit.
Like, I watch all of that. I love that shit. And then it's like but then if you have multiple ones though, it makes it better. So like when My Hero's on, and then I was watching My Hero, I was watching Black Clover. There's like 3 or 4 at the same time. So it's like, I want to see something. I'm mad it's only one episode, but now I get to go see another episode of this show I really like, and then this one and this one. So for me, that works. So overall, man, I say we got a good start here, don't you guys think?
Overall, first 4 episodes, I think it's on the right track. It has the potential of being one of the doper animes.
No goblin rape.
No goblin rape.
No,
I think this is a good offset
from
the Neon Genesis though, because that had your thoughts.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of Neon Genesis.
Maybe that's why I'm missing that a little bit, because that's one of the things I did appreciate about Neon Genesis is that, like, I can dissect this and like really get into it, but obviously that's not for everybody.
I think it is. Too,
I
think I'm kind of changing a little bit. I think we're watching Neon Genesis and Hunter x Hunter and all the stuff that I've been watching. Like, what I like about anime is kind of shifting a little bit.
That's interesting. That's cool.
And I'll say, even with Rob, it's like I'm starting to realize myself just that how, like you said, how we all watch anime, what we watch it for can be completely different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I like a little bit of the thoughtness, but I'm kind of like more, I guess, with Brennan in a sense of like, I'm here to sit down and be like, let me just enjoy this shit. Like, have a good time watching. And
I'm here for a good
but I
time,
understand that cerebral aspect. It's like, I need a really strong story. I want this to kind of like test me a little bit. So it's like, Neon Genesis was definitely that.
It's a fucking test and a half.
Yeah,
it still is. I still feel like I'm being tested by Neon Genesis.
I think if I want to sit down and enjoy it, it has to be funny. Like, if I want to kind of take myself out of it and look at it, approach it like y'all look at it, it has to be funny. If it's just action, and I'm just gonna be like,
but to me, I can't do that because most anime is not funny. I'm like, that's hilarious.
So I do have one thing I want to like one piece of information, which I think I told you guys off, is that there is one character in this show that comes in that gets on my fucking nerves.
Somebody texts me, but it doesn't even know your opinion on that, and said the same thing. It was like, when you get to this particular episode, you're gonna fucking hate this guy.
No,
it's funny too, because like when we did the bonfire sessions the other night, and we had the guy, I fucking wrote his name down this time. Juan Pablo, who's come through a few times. He's a good dude.
Thank you for coming through to the show.
Yeah, Juan Pablo. Shout out to you, brother.
Shout out, bro. For sure.
But I told he asked what we were doing next. I told him, Demon Slayer. I almost called it Goblin Slayer. I told him we were doing Demon Slayer, and he was like, yeah, he was kind of like about it, but he mentioned like there's gonna be a guy that shows up, and
I'm just letting you guys know, like, all of us are gonna have a field day on how much of a bitch this character is. And
if you call him a bitch, then he must.
No,
be
I'm
a bitch.
telling you, he is the most like out of any anime I've ever seen.
What episodes?
He's worse than Deku.
I don't remember, but I think he's definitely probably gonna be coming in the next 4 episodes.
Okay.
That quick? I thought it was later
I think it's either the next 4 episodes. We're definitely seeing him by the 13th. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, this dude, like, out of every anime I've ever seen, he is the most bitchy ass bitch attitude wise. I'm not going to speak to anything else about him, but I say his conscious attitude of who he is.
Even more than Purple Ball Dude from
the
My
most
Hero?
bitch.
Yeah.
Wow. The most bitch person.
He's just perverted.
No, he's a bitch too.
Yeah,
but I'm saying though, like, you can, if you think whoever you think is the most bitchy character right now, Shinji, more of a bitch than Shinji. Like, not even close. I'm saying this character was designed. They were like, we want this character to be like as pathetic as most bitch ass pathetic character as possible, and they take it to they square it. They say that, and then they say square. Like, so that's all I'll say.
Is he worse than pre Midoriya fight Deku?
Yes.
Oh.
Jesus.
I'm trying to set your expectations, guys. I'm trying to set your expectations.
We'll see. I mean, I've heard from multiple people that it doesn't even know your opinion on it. They've all said
the
same
show
thing.
is
You're
still
hate
dope.
This guy.
He takes away from it, but he also adds to it. But he takes more than he adds, in my opinion, at the point where
that
I'm
sounds like Asuka to me.
So I'm just letting you guys know he's a bitch. I'll leave you with that.
All right. Well, squad, the anime squad out there, let us know what y'all think of these first 4 episodes. I know y'all probably watched this.
And Inuyasha.
And Inuyasha, and let us know how you feel about that. Because apparently everybody here hates it and thinks it's one of the worst animes ever.
Yep.
So let us know if you think it is.
It's just boring. It's not.
It's a bit boring. It's not
boring. It's not terrible. It's just.
It's
boring.
not. It's not gangster. It's just like
it's just boring.
Boring.
Yeah. And then, let us know what you think of these first 4 episodes, and give us your opinion on Demon Slayer, man. So far, it seems like we're all pretty much into it. And so we'll see you guys next week, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of AnimeSHUN. Peace out.
And so anime was solved forever.